Right. God, I'm so sad. Right. I'm at Cadbury World. If you remember last time I came here, it was my last ride on Cadbury, which was the park's... well, I keep saying the park, I'm used to saying that. It's the attraction's dark ride. It's been replaced with Cadbury's Chocolate Quest, which honestly looks awful. Here's the remains of Cadbury. I did not want to see that this morning. I did not want to see ripped up pieces of theming from my childhood dark ride in a skip, but there we go. That's so sad. That is so sad. Honestly. What are they doing? Merlin taken over this and ruined it. Anyway, I'm going to see the changes. It looks like the entire thing's a construction site. We've got bits of construction walls everywhere. The experience is really short now. And we've got a new awful dark ride to experience, which, well, we'll see what my actual opinion on it is when it's done. That's not a good sign. Just leaving bits of Cadbury there, but... Anyway, yeah, so it was a very old school dark ride, very long tracked dark ride. Got a new trackless dark ride, which apparently the trackless system is a bit pointless. Yeah, I didn't want to start anything on a negative, but here we are. This day is mainly just to get my own opinion on something that I'm probably not going to enjoy. It's not going to be the worst dark ride, it's not going to be worse than Ninjago at Legoland. That is, really awful. This, I think, is a standalone ride. It's not that much worse than Gangster Granny. But because it's Gangster Granny didn't replace anything, this is replacing a childhood classic. That's why I really won't like this, especially after seeing Cadbury piled up in a skip. They could have at least sold some of that polystyrene. I mean, they sold some of the chuckle. Well, they gave them away in a competition. I should have sold that. I'd love to ask the staff and buy like a tree from Cadbury or a flower or something. But yeah, here we go. We've got the Caramel Bunny walking across to greet us into a very work in progress, under construction, limited version of Cadbury World that we're going to be experiencing today. Oh dear.
But as you can see, it's very slow, so we've got Mr. Parrot here to help us. He's going to speed things up a little bit. Oh my god! Well done, Mr. Parrot.
Yeah, that was pretty good actually. You see, this is going to be one of the highlights. I still can't get over seeing Cadbury laying in ruins. Yeah, that's just heartbreaking, honestly. But something in this, it's still got the chuckle beans in the factory scene. That's the main thing. It's weird doing this first, basically because I've got a ticket where I can do this first and then go in the factory where my actual time ticket is. I'll do the Bourneville experience, the temporary shops there, because the entire thing's a construction site at the moment. But yeah, that was good. That was really good. Obviously, it's the same show. Although something I did notice, they got the lift. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the pre-show because I was one of the last groups to be batched in. But the lift, you do actually go in there, and it's a similar effect to if you did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at Alton Towers. The glass elevator in there, where Trick or Treat Town is now. It's a similar effect to that, just on a smaller scale, and there's only a screen on the ceiling. But it is actually a really good effect, like a little simulator at the start. So I do enjoy that. It's probably going to be the best dark ride here, but we'll have to see what I think of Chocolate Quest. Can't get an on-ride photo from it either, because I've done this first. The only place you can get the photos is from in here. So, not a big fan of that, but we'll have to see. I don't know. This is probably because this has still got the chuckle beans and all the classic stuff. I hope they don't get rid of this anytime soon because it's one of the only pieces of old Cadbury world still left.
You've only got 2 each. Oh yeah.
I mean, surely that's... Ah. Okay.
After killing the Aztec Emperor Moctezuma and defeating the Aztec people, I returned to Spain.
My fellow countrymen absolutely adore the
Loaded my galleons with
Just look around.
chocolate. Everyone is drinking cinnamon, nutmeg, and by adding sugar.
Chocolate and cocoa arrived in England under Cromwell, but didn't gain popularity until the restoration of King Charles II, when it
My name is John Cadbury, and this is my shop, where I first established my business in 1824. My father, Thomas Cadbury, owns and runs the bakery. Our family are staunch Quakers, and we originally came from the West End. Father moved the family to Birmingham from our home in Exeter in 1794, and set up his business as a linen draper and sewyer. Birmingham was a fine place to live, with plenty of business opportunities. We soon made many friends, and my father became a prominent member of the local Quaker community. Because of our religious beliefs, Quakers were considered to be non-conformists. This prevented us from studying at university, and as a result, we were unable to enter the professions such as medicine and law. Also, because Quakers are pacifists, we couldn't join the army or navy. And so trade and commerce were the only areas where Quakers could focus their ambitions and prosper. I was apprenticed as a tea merchant in Leeds, and then worked in a bonded tea house in London. When I returned to Birmingham in 1824, I borrowed some money from my father to go into business as a tea dealer and coffee roaster. I took over the shop and installed this large plate glass window so that my customers could see the samples of tea, coffee, and cocoa nibs that I prepared myself. I colourful windows today.
good last impression. I'll get to the review afterwards. It's fine. It's not good, it's fine. That's all I can say so far. Yeah, let's get to the full review. You can probably tell what it's going to be already. So I've just experienced Cadbury's Chocolate Quest for the first time. And after consideration, the best description I can give is it's just meh. That's pretty much it. So I'll just go through the scenes. It's very short. So pretty much the story is you just got to collect the ingredients to make a Cadbury dairy milk. Simple storyline. It works. It's a good concept. So you just first scene, you've got the two big, the glass and a half effect, which is physical theming. You got all these cocoa beans and milk bottles all suspended from the ceiling. They're moving. Freddo's on a screen, but you have got these nice chocolate waterfalls effect, which is really cool. I do like that. And you've got all the chocolate dripping down. The walls are all Cadbury's purple. It's a pretty promising first scene, if I'm honest. After that, it's underwhelming. Even the fact that Freddo's on a screen as well, that's underwhelming. It's not perfect. Yeah, so you go in. Then the second, so the cars run very smoothly. That's something I can really say with it being a trackless ride. I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to Gangster Granny, especially with the way the curtains open and the rides tilt, the vehicles tilt. You get like a bit of movement side to side. It is very much like Gangster Granny the ride, except Gangster Granny the ride didn't replace a childhood classic dark ride that had been seen for many generations, did it? So think about that. And it's on a track. It's definitely, Chocolate Quest is definitely smoother than Gangster Granny. That is something I can say about it. It's definitely smoother with the ride movement. Then you go through and you've got the first sort of scene. So you've got this monkey playing the bongo. You go around, there's an animatronic, and you go in at the ceiling as well. It's the lighting's too bright. The ceiling, it just looks temporary. You've got cables visible, and it's just this horrible black corrugated metal ceiling with these like wooden beams going across. It looks so temporary. It's just awful. The way it's been finished off, all the walls as well, they just look like construction walls the whole way around. I'm really disappointed with it. I went in with low expectations, but it's still underwhelming. I come off it thinking, yeah, Cadbury, loved it, every second of it. This, going round, and it's like, why? It's just nothing stands out to me. I'm just shooting around looking bored, That's basically what I think of this. Yeah, you have got an animatronic monkey swinging. There are some the animatronics are pretty good. I just wish it was more than just screens. You've got these big jungle trees. The ceiling is actually well done in that room because you've got like the canopy ceiling, which actually looks pretty decent. With like a sort of camo netting. And it just cover up that horrible temporary ceiling, and the lighting, it's too bright that you can see it in most of the scenes. So I will give them that. You've got these big trees at the side of the screen just to sort of block it all in, and then you're just shooting at cocoa beans and on the screen you've got Freddo playing the bongos again. Thing that bugs me about it, something that I really hate about modern dark rides, is the characters. If a character doesn't appear other than on screens, that I hate it. Curse Alton Manor, there's a few screens, but Emily, most of the time, is a physical prop. Gangster Granny, they do appear as physical props on a scene in the ride, which isn't ideal. It's only one scene, and they are pretty much cardboard cutouts, but they still appear as a physical animatronic, that they actually move as well. This, Freddo, does not appear once as a physical prop. Really irritating. So yeah, basically, then I'm getting really annoyed. I knew I was going to get annoyed. I was preparing to get annoyed about it. The next scene, you're going through the countryside. You've got these two big trees. You're on a farm. There's like a milk truck that goes past. You have to collect the milk bottles from there. Freddo again is there as well. Yeah, it's decent. Then you go through the best way the screen is used in the ride So you've got to shoot, and you're looking at like the train. It's about to depart, and you're shooting at different things on the screen, like your ingredients, and then Freddo's like, yeah, the train's about to depart. You actually drop down. It does a Fool's Nemesis Subterror, but also it's very Gangster Granny with like the second scene on Gangster Granny when you drop down through into the sewers and stuff. It's very much like that. Or into the vault of the palace on Gangster Granny. But yeah, so you drop down, you go through like a chocolate tunnel, a lot like the one on the 4D cinema actually. It's good fun. The ride vehicle moves back and forth. You got a bit of water spray. I didn't get too much water spray, but I did get a bit. And then you move in. You get to the end of the track. You see this facade here, but animated, with the factory. You turn around into the factory. It's very well themed. You've got gold and purple pipes everywhere. There's this big structure in the middle. It's very Willy Wonka inventing room. If you did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory the ride, it is like the inventing room, but instead of the balls, the colourful balls, you've got a screen with Freddo. Takes your picture. You go through. I haven't got the on-ride photo, unfortunately. But yeah, Freddo takes your picture as you're going through. You do have to look up at the camera, so I don't think it would have turned out that great anyway. The monkey pops up, but again, you can see the mechanism for the monkey. That's something that does annoy me as well. You can see like the chain mechanism that pulls the monkey up. I just think they could have done a better job at covering that up. But yeah, monkey was a thumbs up. You turn around the corner. The only time the trackless ride system is actually used properly, where you go into a section and then pull back out. But yeah, you go around, there's another screen, you've got all the dairy milks. It's just like a conveyor belt, but they do look pretty cool. There's one where it's just like paper on a conveyor belt with the printed dairy milks. And then there's another one where there are actually physical ones, which do look pretty good, to be fair. There's also like these big boxes with fake chocolate, and I don't know how that's actually done, because it's not just brown water, it actually looks thick. So I don't know how that's actually done like that. But yeah, so you're just going up there, pretty simple theming, but it does look pretty good, and there is a lot to look at in that room, even if the walls are still quite temporary looking. Then you go around, and into the final scene, which is just like the train on a screen again. And I went round, come off and think, that's just meh. Cadbury, amazing, physical theming everywhere, so many small details, you notice something new every time. It was re-rideable. You could come back and you could see new things. That is not re-rideable. Cadbury, I was itching to get back on it again. I'd love to do it more than once in one day. That is not in any way re-rideable. Chocolate Quest, it's a... In addition to Cadbury, it would have been alright. It would have been okay. Cadbury still would have been loads better, but that would have been okay. As a replacement, that's the worst they could have put in. And I'm glad I can officially say that with my own opinion now. I know I was expecting it to be bad. I went in with low expectations, with an open mind, but low expectations, and it is pretty bad. I'm going to be honest. As a replacement for Cadbury, it's awful. It's genuinely awful. So... I can't believe it. The things Merlin have done with like the Bourneville experience, which we're about to go in, is incredible. What are they thinking? I haven't got heart. I mean, the Gorilla's coming back at Christmas, so I'm interested to see what they've done with that. And there is a bit of advertising avenue blocked off where the Gorilla's probably going to go. But what are they doing? Honestly, getting rid of that. You see the windows are blocked out at the top. I think that's where Cadbury is. It was on that floor. I'm pretty sure it was there. Look at how big that space is. Chocolate Quest is not good. Go and ride it to get your own opinion on it, because I've seen some people who've enjoyed it, but I don't. Being someone who hates screen-based dark rides, it's bad. And also as well, one of the best pieces of theming is the train as you get off. That's in the offload where the train with the Bourneville Express, and it looks pretty cool. That train doesn't appear once as a physical prop in the actual ride. Yeah. It's been negative. I didn't want it to be negative, but it's been negative. Shame, real shame. And you can see here as well, the whole bit of the factory there is blocked in. The lights on the first floor there, above the Bourneville experience, that's been blocked in because they're working on a staircase apparently that goes down to the Bourneville experience. It's all going to be connected into one. But yeah, why the hell did they have to get rid of Cadbury to put that in? I mean, the ride vehicles look nice, and that's the thing, it's pointless. It might as well be on a track because it follows a fake track pretty much, apart from that ending where it swerves into a corner and then comes back out. That's the only time the trackless system's actually used properly. It's underwhelming. It's really underwhelming. And Cadbury World or Merlin have really pulled a bad move getting rid of Cadabra for that, honestly. And I get why it's in a different location, because they wanted Cadabra to be open till the very last day before that opened. But if they're going to do it like that, why not keep Cadabra? Unless they've got big plans, but I don't think they have, because the Gorilla's going somewhere else, back to sort of near where it used to be. So that's a very negative, but what can I say? Things have happened. Cadabra's not coming back. I just hope that they put a new dark ride in, but I don't think they will now. I don't know what the future is for this, but I haven't got high hopes anymore. I really haven't.
If you like as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Let's see.
Let's go and buy you a house at that point.
Good that for RIP.
Now, if I were making solid chocolates, this demonstration. You are? There they are. There you have your solid chocolates. You've just got to set them. But I'm going to show you how they put a natural soft colour to it. It's like you get the orange coffee creams today. So what the ladies would do is they would just make it rain chocolate. So who likes chocolate rain? Yeah, me too. So we tap and we shake, and there you are left with your shell. Now we need to let this set for a little while. I have got one that I did a few moments ago. Here it is. Right then, so it's at this point
ladies would get their piping bags and they would hand pipe all their lovely creamy fillings into each little shell. I can't do this, I'm afraid, because I reuse my chocolate over and over, so I can't mix the ingredients. But imagine that full of, say, peppermint cream. The ladies would seal that cream in with a thin layer of chocolate over the top, like so. Ah. And there you have your finished chocolate. Now, we are very, very lucky because we have fridges. They didn't, not like that. What they would have had was cupboards with holes in the ventilators attached, and they would have had cool rooms dotted throughout the factory. In the summer, when it was really, really warm, the ladies were sometimes sent home because they just could not set the chocolate and make it shiny enough. But they were paid. So, let's have a look at these. Is it ready or not? There they are. And there you have your finished chocolates, all made by hand. So thank you so much, everyone. My name's Jane.
It's been such a bad vlog, hasn't it? With the skip, it's time to say goodbye to Cadbury and Cadbury World for this year. I don't even... That new ride is so underwhelming. It's one of my least favourite rides ever. You know, Ninjago is still the worst dark ride I've ever done because it's just terrible. I mean, it's just screens. This is down there. I think it may even be on the same level because as much as a standalone ride it is better because there's a few bits of physical theming. However, it's replaced a piece of mine and many other people's childhood history with physical props and theming, and then it's just screens in its place. Now, I have actually bought a bit of merchandise. I've had a Chuckle Bean for years from here, but I've just bought another one. One of the plush ones to add to my plush collection, because I have got a huge plush collection from various different theme parks and attractions, and I've added to it, and I've just bought another Chuckle Bean, so that's nice. I've got two now in my collection, so that is a positive. 4D actually was running really well. Can't fault that. That was probably the best run through I've had of that with the simulator with the lift. I actually really like that. The Chuckle Beans are still in there as well. I hope they don't change that. But yeah, I think, what does this place need? Reuse the ride system from Cadbury. I just don't think they will. It needs another dark ride, but I don't think it will get one because I think, you know, the rides are all so different. If they'd have kept Cadbury, you'd have had Cadbury, immersive physical theming, loads to look at, really long, slow-moving, relaxing ride, magical. Chocolate Quest with the screens and the modern technology, the trackless system, some animatronics, but mostly screens. I wouldn't have enjoyed it that much, don't get me wrong, but it would have been better if we still had Cadbury along with it, especially with the Gorilla still coming back. We wouldn't have lost anything then. And then, of course, the 4D, which is more for the like moving seats and special effects and things like that in there, with the 3D effect and the pre-shows and all that. Perfect. With 3 dark rides, more than most UK parks, and they would have all had their own unique elements. But Merlin didn't decide to do that, and they removed a piece of childhood history. Why? Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be going on a really good dark ride. I'm back to Matlock Bath for Gulliver's Kingdom for the first time since June, July time. It's been a long time, I'll tell you that. And then I'm off to Gulliver's Warrington on Saturday for the final day of the 2024 season for me. So, again, more dark rides to do with physical props and stuff. They get a lot of hate, but they're physical props based, that's the main thing. Yeah. Just... This is probably the worst vlog I've ever filmed. The worst reviews I've had for things, and it's because last time I had a really great day. This time, it's been too negative. I've had a few positives. You know, I've actually got a good few, you know, I've got a chocolate bar from the ride, a chocolate buttons bag from the Bourneville experience, which is again another one of the positives. The Merlin's done a really good job with that, and I don't understand how they've done that as well as a crappy new interactive dart ride. You know, and so they're happy, but it hasn't been like a really good, enjoyable day. There's been a lot of negatives today, and I've got to stress it. I know that people won't listen to me because I'm not a big YouTuber, but Cadbury World it's very underwhelming at the moment, and it's important to get it out there. I haven't had a good day as a whole. I've enjoyed the outdoor sections, but the indoor sections, really, really bad at the moment. Now, look, they're advertising that there's certain things under construction, but the removal of Cadbury is a huge loss. It really is, and that new ride is so underwhelming. Even when everything else is back open, that will still be underwhelming as a replacement, and they haven't got a good ride here anymore, and the ride was a big part of the experience, so it's just worth bearing that in mind. You know, I wasn't looking forward to it, really, like last time I came here. Glad I've got my own opinion on the ride. It's a new dark ride credit, I'm all for that, but yeah, just it's going to be underwhelming if you're coming here in the next few weeks.